What magazine is that?
Ja, this is the magazine from Lufthansa. And I have found a very special comment here with saffron in Switzerland.
Saffron in Switzerland?
That's the highest saffron what is growing in Europe. That's in Mund.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, we're going to Switzerland later this year.
That's
So maybe
correct.
we could visit.
Yes, why not?
The
Pleasure for
colour,
me.
the mountains.
Yes, wow, absolutely. Beautiful.
Shall we go?
Perfect, good. Yes, we do that. With pleasure.
More expensive than gold, saffron has been cultivated since the 23rd century BC, originating from east of the Mediterranean. Valued as a remedy for everything, from heartache to hemorrhoids, enhancing food and drink, its colour used for dyeing clothes. It was peddled by saffron grocers, whose clientele included kings, queens, pharaohs, and the privileged of the ancient world. Promoted as a cure for the bubonic plague, which raged across the Western world in the 14th century, the high value even promoted a war when a shipment was hijacked en route to Basel in Switzerland, the then centre of the European saffron trade and cultivation. A decade later, the pivot of trade shifted to Nuremberg, Germany. A fickle, labour-intensive crop, its main production centred east of the Mediterranean. Only in Mund Switzerland did production continue unabated since the 14th century. It's October, and we travel from our home in Moffat across Europe, over the mountains to the canton of the Valais in Switzerland, curious about the little village in the Alps, still famed for its saffron after hundreds of years. The sparse vegetation on the mountaintops gives way to the fertile mountainsides of Mund. At an altitude of nearly 4,000 feet, the climate and soil are near perfect for crocus sapphires. Access problems and a dwindling population over the years almost devastated its cultivation. However, a new road to the village in 1979 promoted a group of villagers to form a guild to promote saffron growing as a source of income for the community. In the village, a saffron museum has been created. Here, we meet German Jossmann, president of the Mund Saffron Guild. He has taken a couple of days off from his day job as a Swiss civil servant at the Parliament in Bern to welcome us and act as our guide. German grew up in Mund and recalls the hard life before being sent to Fribourg to become a priest, a vocation he did not pursue.
No, I was born here. I made the basic schools here. And then my parents wished that I become a priest, so they put me in a monastery. For 6 years I was in Fribourg. My earliest memory was first when my grandfather came with this chiffraff. I remember that it was a very hard work because when you grow up here, you have always to work in the fields because I was quite strong. I had to make a lot of work, and I didn't love very much the saffron. Not the work, not the taste, when I was young.
And things did change when the new road was carved into the steep mountainsides.
After the road took a great part of the fields where the saffron grew before. Then people came together and told together, it cannot be that we have no saffron, so we have to make something, we have to change something, we have to cultivate the fields. And it began at the year of 79.
German becomes president of the Saffron Guild, and under his watchful eye, the reputation of Mund as the highest cultivation of saffron growing in Europe is maintained, bringing tourists and new income to a few of the 500 inhabitants.
This is now 5 years. And this is, one side is a very interesting job. On the other side, you have some, yeah, not everything is that easy.
German introduces us to Beat Salzmann, the oldest grower in Mund. We start to understand that saffron cultivation in Switzerland is not an industry, but more a rewarding pastime.
Ich habe bei der SBB als gewöhnlicher Bahnarbeiter geschafft bis 1999, bin dann pensioniert worden und habe für die nach der Pensionierung einfach ein Hobby gesucht. Ich habe dann angefangen, ein paar Acker zu kaufen, zwar ca. 500 Meter weiter hinten. Das ist dann im ersten Moment nicht gegangen. Das Terrain war nicht ganz gut. Wir sind dann nachher bis hier zurück und haben hier neue Terrain gekauft. Und erst jetzt seit 5 Jahren habe ich einigermaßen eine gute Ernte. Ich ernte hier ca. zwischen 44.000 und 57.000 Blumen im Jahr. Das heisst, zwischen 300 und 380 Gramm war das Maximum an Ernte. Und die Ernte könnte man im Herbst in einem Rund direkt fortgeben, aber das mache ich nicht. Ich habe im Laufe des Jahres viele Leute, die mir helfen können. Dann bezahlen ich die im Herbst mit Saffron bezahlen statt mit Geld. Und nachher bleibt ein Teil bei mir und der verkaufe ich eigentlich fast ausschließlich hier auf dem Acher. Es kommen viele Leute, die können das schauen, von der ganzen Schweiz und sogar vom Ausland her. Niemand kann ein Gramm Saffron verkaufen, weil es einfach nicht so rar ist. Und ich kann dir hier sagen, wenn ihr wollt, ich habe ein paar Gramm da, ihr könnt ein paar Gramm haben. Und verkaufe dann manchmal hier am Acher den Saffron.
Beat clambers carefully over the steep slope, picking one violet blossom at a time. It is still early in the season. When the harvest is in full bloom, friends and family will help. One false step could see him stumble to serious injury. No machine exists to harvest saffron, a labour-intensive harvest, taking 200 blossoms to produce 1 kilo of saffron. Beat harvested 48,000 flowers last year. He has no way to predict how many blossoms each day, so it's always a surprise when Beat comes to his field. With a basket of some 270 flowers, enough for perhaps 1 gram of spice, we go to Beat's home to extract the dark red stigmas. The scene, much as it has been for hundreds of years. The aroma of saffron blends with the chatter. Fingers deftly pluck the pungent stigmas from the flower and carefully place them on a sheet where they will dry for the next couple of days, then added to the already collected stigma. Annie, Beat's wife, does not go to the fields, but supports his passion or even obsession with saffron.
Macht jedes Hobby, hat schon viele Hobby gehabt, immer 100%ig. Nie 80%, immer 100, 150%. Und darum ist viel intensiv dabei und das ist für mich auch schön. Ich unterstütze ihn immer unterstützen, mit Essen und Trinken und hier helfen. Und im Saffron, im Acher, hilf ich nichts.
They spend the next couple of weeks doing this, enlisting the help from family and friends when needed. After work, a homemade liquor is supped, made of course with saffron. Mund, everywhere you look, mountains, and below green alpine meadows. At its centre, the church, a small shop, a cafe to cater for the inhabitants, and in the summer and autumn, visitors curious about saffron. The shop provides the basic needs, and tourists can browse in search of saffron-enhanced treats, even bump into a visiting folk heritage group from lower down the valleys to buy saffron bread.
Danke vielmals.
Gerne mit Eibheber telefonieren.
Und die Tassen sind sehr heiß. Ja.
It's quite strong saffron flavour.
That's fine.
Yeah, something inside.
The cafe serves saffron specialities, each option enhanced by the coveted Mund saffron by chef proprietor Benko. Every dish a shade of gold. Under 2 kilos of saffron is harvested in Mund each year, so it is hard to imagine that all these saffron-enhanced recipes contain real Mund saffron. Piers Schiendrich also benefits from the world's most expensive spice. His saffron cheese is a popular Christmas purchase. The family is the oldest and largest in Mund. Piers is one of 11 children and the farmer of the family.
Und wir haben schon die ganzen Vorfahren immer Käse. Meine Mutter hat von ihrer Mutter das Käse gelernt und die ist jetzt mit 95 Jahren gestorben. Das heißt, oder sie war 16, wenn sie von ihrer Mutter das Käse gelernt hat. Ja, wir hatten eine Bäuerei, die 11 Kinder und ich war der Jüngste. Und dann habe ich einfach die Bäuerei weitergeführt.
With culture and saffron added, the 300 litres of milk begin the coagulation process. After 30 minutes or so, the glutinous substance is poured into moulds to drain and then to compress. Finally, the cheese is placed in a bath of brine for a couple of hours. The maturing process begins in the cellar. The cheese is regularly turned and scrubbed to form the rind till the desired taste and look is achieved. Finally, we leave the canton of Wallis after a last meal at the Solwad, owned by the Heinzmann family and managed by daughter Dominique.
Yes, I was every summer here, and I was helping my grandmother in the kitchen, and I was preparing the salads, and I didn't imagine that I ever will stay here in the restaurant and be the chef of the restaurant. Yes, but now it's really nice. We have a great family. Everybody is coming to help, as well my grandmother and my grandfather.
We depart in the knowledge that the younger generations will continue the Mund traditions. Mund is not the only place in Switzerland that saffron is cultivated. Other small plots are grown, mostly for personal use. However, not far from Lucerne, there is an exception. At Aristau, we meet Sylvia Bossard, the only Swiss saffron grower who has obtained the coveted ISO 36032 from the International Organization for Standardization. When we visited, the main harvest had not yet begun, but we joined her and a couple of members of staff. When the harvest is in full swing, she needs up to 30 helpers. Sylvia started growing crocus sattvias in 2007, creating a new life after a tragic aeroplane accident in New Zealand in 2004.
My husband got dead, or starb, and I was heavily injured. My back was broken, and after approximately 2 years, I thought, I have nothing. I lost everything. I lost my job, lost my love, I lost my health. I have nothing. How will my life continue? And I knew somehow it has to. And I loved the flower. I thought it's a gorgeous flower. And so I thought, or my intention then was, once a year walking through these fields of saffron and picking up this flower, this I will be able to do again with my body.
The soil at the family farm proved particularly well suited for saffron growing. Sylvia uses all parts of the saffron flower, taking advantage of all the various positive properties of the purple flowers.
For cooking, for the skincare, and this is the male part, the stamp, and we use it for chocolate.
Always seeking new products, even developing a preserve, combining the aromatic quince with saffron. Sylvia sees Tagora pushing into new dimensions to strengthen human well-being.
Every year a new product.
We leave as staff members carefully remove the stigma, fingers separating the various parts, a monotonous, time-consuming task. The strong scent of saffron, relaxing, a perfect recipe for conversation and emotional release. The benefits of saffron's pungent aroma and the taste that takes thousands of stigmas to create, still influencing life, as it has done since before biblical times.
I'm just mad about saffron, and saffron's mad about me. Yeah, I'm just mad about saffron, and she's just mad about me. They call me Mellow Yellow. They call me Mellow Yellow. That's right. They call me Mellow